Friends, people have this notion of good omens and bad omens, right? This has been there for thousands of years in this world. Now, omens are, I'm not saying they're not at all relevant, but the amount of importance you give to the omens versus the amount of importance you give to your intelligence and your conviction and the confidence that you have in yourself and the trust you have in this whole existence, that every unit in this existence, humans, animals, things, and plants, etc., all of them wish that we all together thrive. And really, there is no end to anyone, except there is this end to the form that we are all seeing. Like, I may not be in this form forever, but I am there, right? So if you have that that amount of trust in you, okay. So if you give importance to the second part that I told you, then you don't need to give the importance to these omens. But people have always existed and will always exist. Those who do not understand this, and those who will give more importance to the other part, right? See, mostly either they are less confident and less evolved, and they don't think themselves as significant as the other things are. And also there could be another reason wherein their fortune, whatever they are today enjoying, they cannot explain that from their hard work point of view. That they have not really done as much hard work or as much smart work that needs to be done to gain whatever they have already gained by chance in this life. So they realize this very acutely, and what they do is they therefore give more importance to their hard work or smart work or their convictions than them. They give more importance to chance. And chance or luck or fortune, etc., misfortune, all these are not in people's hands. So they feel very insecure in that way, and they want to understand what's going to happen so that they could be either prepared or they could try to avoid by pleasing gods or forces that might neutralize what they don't want but still would come in the future in their lot, right? So this is about bad omen. The psychology behind bad omens and good omens is this. Now, for example, from my childhood I've been hearing this, like, if you are starting to go somewhere and someone sneezes, anybody in the vicinity, you can hear, they sneezed once, that's a bad omen. Okay, so they wait till there is another sneeze or another good omen, good sign. But people get creative. People cannot stop their work because of one bad omen. They know that. They're too practical for that. But they can at the same time not ignore the bad omen. So what they do is they always cook up stories, and they always find neutral ways and non-controversial ways to make things look okay. So what they do is they ask the person who has sneezed once to sneeze again. That's so funny for me, but they do. Somehow they ask him to try and sneeze once more. Okay. And if that person sneezed twice more, which is totally making it 3, again that's a bad omen. So it has to be an even number. This is one. And they have like black cat. If a black cat passes across your way when you are leaving somewhere, that's a bad omen. So they make sure there is no cats in general, or at least a black cat in the vicinity. But is that amounting to you reading the omens or you making omens happen. So you are making some things happen, right? That is not chance anymore. If you have to read what is in chance, what is adrushta, what is not seen, invisible, then you need to let things happen. Okay, if there is a bad omen, there is a bad omen. Be psychologically prepared or pray more, something like that. And check yourself whether you are doing good, whether you are doing noble things, and whether you are living up to your own expectations and your parents and forefathers' expectations, which hopefully is good. If you are doing all of that, continue doing. If you are doing something wrong, then correct yourself. That's how you deal with omens, right? But what you are doing is you are changing the omen, you're making omens change, and then you're thinking everything is all right. That is like you're sitting in a car and the car shows, the indicator shows that there is low fuel, and you don't want to see low fuel. So what you do is you take a hammer and break the indicator, and somehow by chance the indicator shows full now, and you think you have a full tank of fuel and you go forward. This is just like that. Okay. So for example, a widow crossing your path is often seen as a bad omen if you are going to start somewhere. So they are harassed. They are asked not to move out, or if they have to move out, they have to look everywhere, and they have to move out only when people are not going to work or to weddings or etc. etc. So mostly widows are hidden. They are asked to do that, right? But that is due to the ignorance of the people around, not the widow. Okay, widow is a human being. That's all. She is not a widow. Is not even a widow. A widow is a human being. Okay, that is a state of life where we all might be easily. Therefore, it is an opportunity to understand the temporariness of this life, and spiritual journey can be started, etc. Or they can start a new life, no problem. Okay, so that's really not that's really not bad. But those people who consider themselves great and successful and of great importance in society, they all think their judgment is right about widows or black cats or sneezes, etc. If your good work and your conviction in life and your progress and your decisions that you're making in life are so insignificant that they can be affected by someone passing by just on their own business without any concern for you, even a cat or even some sneezes, things like that, then what are you? You're such a petty human being, and your contribution or your achievements are so petty, right? So please understand, omens are there, fine. Yeah, nature keeps giving you omens, okay? But how you read it? See, trees, they also see cats passing. They are not affected. Animals are not affected by cats or these omens, etc. Humans are affected. But it is your decision how much, to what extent you will be affected or not. Okay? How you are interpreting nature's natural course of evolution and of existence, that is up to you. So if you are a powerful person, if you are a significant person, if you are evolved person, advanced one, then everything, planets, stars, their movements, and people's movements and people's psychologies, and everything is under you. Circumstances are there. You will have to be bound by the circumstances, but to what extent you are bound is determined by you. Okay, so yes, if you I mean, yes, you may be able to give the circumstances the time. You may allow the circumstances. You are allowing that because you are allowing the circumstances to some extent to prevail on you, because you have understood the laws of nature and you are willingly trying to be part of the nature and not the whole of the nature and control it. Okay, you are not trying to be Ishvara when you are a Jiva. When you are a Jiva, the state of Jiva is not inferior at all. But when I say Jiva, I'm saying that as against Ishvara, Jiva is not possessing the same amount of power on the existence and the laws of nature as the Ishvara has. So, what I'm trying to say is, you are comfortable with the status that you are in, and therefore you do not mind being bound by some circumstances. For example, there is this wall, I cannot pass through the wall, I know it, and I respect the laws of nature. Okay, you may ask, if so what do you mean? Do you mean to say that if you choose, you can walk through the wall? No, not with the body at all, definitely. But why should I? That is my question. Why should I? What does that, I mean, even if I am able to accomplish that, even if I have a power, a mystical power or some supernatural power to walk through the walls, what do I want to achieve through that power? What do I want to use that power for? That is a more important question to me. And if that is spiritual and that is great, then I might want to use that power. Now, one other thing is, you don't even want to use those powers even for that. Like Sri Ramakrishna offered Ashtasiddhis to Vivekananda. Vivekananda asked, what purpose do they serve? Can they take me to God and truth? Sri Ramakrishna said no, but they may serve you some purposes in this world. He said, then I don't want them. Okay, he was clear about it. Sri Ramakrishna was pleased with that. So, in the same way, it is one thing to want miracles or powers and not have them. It is another thing to not even want them, not even value them. And it is another thing to be comfortable whichever state you are in, not regret it, and work amidst the circumstances that you are placed in at any given point of time, because God manifests himself and herself in the form of circumstances, always, every moment, all around you. Embrace that God in the form of circumstances. If you are able to do that consciously, deliberately, you are spiritual. Thank you.